All right, Top Billin. I'm too excited about LSU and Georgia to be talking about Georgia playing against Georgia Tech. That offers nothing in the way of what it has to face going against that juggernaut offense in LSU. So I won't be talking about Georgia Tech. I apologize, Coach Collins. You're still my guy. It is what it is, though. This is a perfect example of what I've been telling people about defending LSU, right? Texas A&M not exactly equipped to do this. Although it does have a very good defense in its own right, it's nothing like Georgia's defense. Nothing remotely similar. Not the depth, not the speed. This is what you exactly need to do, right? I talk about rushing 3 and dropping 8, especially when they go to these empty sets, right? They like to motion to empty. They have Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the game and then motion to empty. What you want to do is decrease the space. You see these guys right here, right? These guys defending these inside receivers, you cannot be far back giving them cushion, right? Because they want to throw the ball in the middle of the field. They'll do it 10 out of 10 times, right? They want to make the easiest throw. They take the path of least resistance. The easiest throws are always throws to the middle of the field. You want to force them either outside the pocket or passing the ball outside the numbers. And how do you do that? You rush 3, drop 8 on something like this. Everybody has to have disciplines. First and foremost, Joe Burrow is one of the best dual threat quarterbacks in the country and just the best thrower of the football in the country. So we see him on the pull right here. Decrease space. Man to man. Edwards-Helaire right here. My man's about to shoot up on him, and look what you have. A spy. That's exactly what you need right there. You cannot have it, and this is a pretty decent spy in Buddy Johnson. Georgia does it a little bit differently where they have even a much better athlete than him. But look at this. They're trying to go to the crossing routes, right? Path of least resistance. They want to pass the ball in this area. Going to the crossing route, everything is good. They want to get a little bit of a rub action. You can tell the way the receiver is slowing down. They're trying to position and then time it perfectly. But what does this guy start doing? Instead of worrying about his man, he's now looking at Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow already has a spy on him. There is no need to worry about that. Trust and believe that Buddy Johnson, if Joe Burrow tries to scramble, Buddy Johnson, being as great as he is, will be able to corral Joe Burrow in a one-on-one situation. So stay on your man. You cannot be lax in your discipline for 1 second, but look what happens. Joe Burrow starts to scramble. He gets enamored with Joe Burrow, and guess what? Joe Burrow's not a scrambler. He can do that with the best of them, but he's looking to pass the ball and distribute to his great receiving core, right? Perhaps the best in the country. What does this guy do? He starts freaking worrying about that, and his man continues to go, and he loses him. Joe Burrow sees it because he's always looking, and you turn what was going to be probably a 1-yard gain or even a sack or whatever like that, you turn that into a big play. Got to be disciplined, but rushing 3, dropping 8, and man-to-man underneath, that's exactly how you could get it done to me against LSU in some of these money situations, especially when they motion to empty. All right, here we go again. I cannot believe that when I watched this to open the game that they would do exactly what I've been preaching, rushing 3 and dropping 8 and spying at the beginning of the game. So Mike Elko at Texas A&M, at the very least he was watching, right? Shit got out of control or whatever like that. Texas A&M maybe don't have the personnel to do this. But look, right away, look, man-to-man, motion to empty. LSU went empty right away. They want to see what you're working with, right? Like when you go up in the club, you want to see what the girl is working with. So they motion to empty to see what you're working with. Rush 3. Anthony Hines as a spy this time at the linebacker position. So remember, this is a pass play. These guys can't leak down the field. So you can do yourself a better, maybe a solid by being back a little bit more. You don't have to be where you're close enough for the lineman right here to guard you primarily, right? So he's able to guard you like basketball, and then he kind of is able to dampen you what you're doing right there. So stay further back a little bit. But this is what you don't want to do at all times. You can't lose contain on Jugular Joe Burrow. He's always going for the jugular vein. Always going for the jugular vein. But look at this guy right here. You're going to take an inside move and vacate the premises. No vacating of the premises. No inside moves. That's not going to do anything for Joe Burrow. You got to keep him in the pocket. Keep him in the pocket. And look, nobody's open right here. So now scramble rules ensue. And they are the best at scramble rules. Jamar Chase is the best scramble rules receiver I think I've seen. He automatically knows what to do. But at the very least, they did what they needed to do right here. But guess what? Justin Matabuki and these guys are not remotely the type of athletes that Georgia has on its line. But they did force Joe Burrow out of the pocket. Nowhere to go with that bad boy. Rushing 3, dropping 8, and spying. Who's been saying that all season? Give your boy a little bit of credit, man. All right, here we go again. I'm not sure what they're doing right here. They are rushing 3. And it looks like Buddy Johnson is spying from the interior, though. You want to get right up on that hash. Right where he's at, you want to be at, right? You almost want to be like the referee right here. Not sure why Buddy Johnson would be over here because he takes himself out of the play if Burrow does scramble to his left. But what really takes it out is this goofball right here taking an inside move when there's no one to replace him. Going to take an inside move. This guy thinks the game through, right? He's just simply the best, man. Simply the best. You cannot take an inside move. He's going to notice that right away. Everybody else is good. That's man coverage. Nobody's open. Man coverage. He can perhaps throw the ball down the field. It's a lower percentage throw. Right now, they don't really do lower percentage throws. They're completing 80% of their passes for a reason. They're taking the path of least resistance. Now look at this dude having to try to chase against Jugular Joe Burrow. His big stiff ass is not going to corral Jugular Joe Burrow, and he knows it. He completely messed up. And look at that. Just gave up yardage. Just gave up yardage. They had everything perfect. It's like Deontay Wilder. Now I see it. LSU reminds me of Deontay Wilder. You can do everything perfect for 12 rounds. They need one punch. Knock you out. All right, this is the exact formation going against LSU with the 11 personnel or the motion to empty that Georgia needs to use and will use. It's been using for the majority, at least since this Missouri game. Just this personnel that has Nakobe Dean, Quay Walker, and you got a fast guy like Jermaine Johnson out here on the edge. Azeez Ojulari, the best line of scrimmage player. That's an exterior player. Then you have freaky Trayvon Walker right here. All gaps covered, always taking an outside contain approach. And then you'll see what's really the kicker right here. Right? Rushing 4, they can rush 4 on this bad boy. Have Tyrique Stevenson put a DB, right? Remember he was in the A gap, right? He came sunk back from the A gap. This essentially ends up being man free. Now look at this. If Joe Burrow wanted to, obviously he's not going to scramble right here. This particular guy, he's throwing an angle route. But just imagine Tyrique Stevenson and his ability with 4.4 speed. He's not a linebacker like Buddy Johnson. 4.4 speed guy who can tackle 210 pounds or whatever like that. Faster than Joe Burrow, can react. This is exactly what Georgia needs and will be doing going against that. And you see everyone's covered. Georgia's just a whole nother animal on defense, man. Look at this. Outside approaches here. Everything's all good. Now you got to go tackle and break down in space. So imagine if that's Joe Burrow, right, trying to scramble. It's a lot of team speed. The fastest defense in the country versus the fastest offense in the country. It's about to be bananas. All right, same setup again. This time working with an empty set. You got Azeez Ojulari over here. This time you got Tyrique Stevenson on the edge, but look what they do with him. He's on the edge, and then he spies the middle. Rotates the spot. Quay Walker still coming on the inside. Trayvon Walker right here. The Walker brothers. Not exactly sure who that is over there, but guess what they end up doing? It's Adam Anderson. Look at that, Adam Anderson. They can literally put probably 12, 15 different people in this front 7, and all these guys are 5 stars or high 4 stars. Adam Anderson, 5-star right here. Rotating these fresh bodies in, taking an outside approach, not letting Joe Burrow take the easy way out, right? The path of least resistance by detaching from the pocket and finding his guy Jamar Chase, but being able to keep him contained inside the pocket and then have a spy like a Tyrique Stevenson, or you could switch that up and that can be Adam Anderson right here. They got or Channing Tindall, a whole bevy of players who can potentially play that role. But you see Tyrique Stevenson right here, spying. It's a good chess play. It's going to be a good chess matchup, man. Very good chess matchup. You see man coverage, as always. Man coverage, decrease the space, and we could have a ball game. So I know everybody thinks LSU is going to stomp Georgia out. I don't see LSU being able to take off on Georgia like that. The defense is just as good as LSU's offense. So we'll see what prevails in that manner. So then it's probably going to be the vice versa. Can LSU's defense, is it better than Georgia's offense? So we'll get to all that, but I'm going to have a ton of coverage for this LSU and Georgia game. But I wanted to show you that one particular aspect that could really change the scope of LSU's offense. But, of course, LSU's offense has a whole bunch of different layers, like one of those blooming onions or something like that. So it's that much of a juggernaut. So Be excited for this game because it's about to be off the chain, all right? But with that being said, you already know what time it is. It's your boy Murf, the Underground King. Thank you for watching, and I am out. Peace.